Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Setting the Agenda, and I'm Meghna Rekha. So, viewers, today on Setting the Agenda, we are going to be decoding the newly appointed chair of the so-called United States Commission on International Religious Freedom. We are going to tell you just how anti-India propaganda is cooking in Washington. And who's fanning these fuels? Well, we are going to get you the details of that. Well, all of this is coming in ahead of Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief's US visit for the Universal celebrations, Oneness celebration, which is happening in New York on August 29. In fact, the United States advisory body, when it comes to religious freedom, US has now called for sanctions against the RSS and has urged the Trump administration to deny its leaders diplomatic courtesies. And these are basic courtesies which are extended diplomatically between country to country. All of that is going to be denied to the RSS chief, Mohan Bhagwat, and that is a demand. They've also said high-level meetings with Mohan Bhagwat should not be held. The US CIRF claims that RSS attacks minorities in India. But under whose leadership is this US body now targeting the RSS? Why is it calling for sanctions on the RSS? Is there more than what really meets the eye? That's what we are going to be decoding for you. It's, remember, a body which has a Pakistani American as the head. In fact, look at the glaring double standards here. On your screens, you have Pakistan, a country that the same US CIRF has designated as a country of particular concern, now has a Pakistani American at the helm of the very commission, which is making these recommendations. You'd say, so what if his descent is of Pakistan? But I'm going to explain to you who really this man is that you can see on your screens right now, Dr. Asim. Well, he is someone whose profile is very, very interesting. I'm not going to tell you what to think, but I'm going to show you what the facts are. This is the man that you can see on your screens. His name is Asim Mahmood. He's a doctor. He's a Pakistani American. He belongs to an area called Kharian in Pakistan. He is Pakistani origin, as I was telling you, but he is based in US. He's a doctor. He's a pulmonologist there. But Mahmood was born in Kharian of Pakistan. He is someone who then later moved on to the US. He was born in Pakistan, he was brought up there, then he moved to the US, he settled in California. He's a Pakistani-American doctor turned a US activist. He ran for the Congress on a Democratic ticket as well. He is a newly appointed US CIRF, this very commission that we are telling you about. And he took over the reins in July 2026. But interestingly, after this man took over the reins of this body, which talks about religious persecution, the stand against India seems to be hardening. Which is why this is interesting that now there is a call for sanctions on the RSS by this Pakistani American-led body. Asim Mahmood is the one who's the head of it. He's the one who's leading the body. He's come in the backdrop of Mohan Bhagwat's US visit, which is expected later. But let's tell you a bit more about the visit. Well, this is the visit of Mohan Bhagwat. This is what they have protested against. Mohan Bhagwat is going to be visiting from August of 25th, later on this month. He is going to be part of a key event, which is Universal Oneness celebration. That's what he's celebrating, and he's now accused of having targeted minorities. But Mohan Bhagwat is going there for Universal Oneness celebration, which is an event which is going to be held on 29th of August. The organizer is American Hindus for Engagement and Dialogue. Engagement and dialogue, these words are very important. Also, in attendance are going to be 5,000 plus Indian Americans. Are they all people who are associating with people who are targeting minorities in India? Well, that is what this US body, US CIRF, would have you believe. But it is not the first time that Mahmood has attacked India or an Indian organization. There is a pattern, a systematic pattern here. Way back in 2024, Mahmood had already slandered India. Let me take you through what he had said. One of the past attacks that Mahmood has made is his claim when he said that Indian Muslims are in precarious conditions, that they are living in precarious conditions. He's also in the past said this about India, that 200 million plus Indian Muslims are suffering. He's also said that Indian Muslims fear for their safety when they are in India. These are the kind of claims that Mahmood has made. Another past attack that he has made on India is that Rohingyas who are living in India, those who are sheltering India after the religious persecution they faced in Burma, that these Rohingyas are living in dire conditions in India. Mahmood has also claimed that there are concerns over the plight of the Rohingyas who are living in India. These are the kind of statements that this man has already made. Let me go across to our senior editor, Bhavtosh Singh, who's joining us with more details on this. Bhavtosh, very interesting. There's one thing that there is a call for sanctioning RSS. But it's quite another when we dig a bit deeper. This man, Mahmood, he is the head of this US body which wants sanctions not just on the RSS, also on India's Research and Analytic Wing, which is the RAW. Is there a deeper plot than what really meets the eye?
Yes, Meghna, in fact, if we just go by various statements that have been issued by the US religious body, they have specifically targeted Indian agencies, any issues that have been raised by Indian government, and even decisions that have been taken by Indian government and also by Indian courts. Now, in 2024, 2025, he had taken up the issue of transnational killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar and also murder for hire plot, where he specifically mentioned that it was Indian government that had planned the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, and we all know the facts that came out just few months back, where it was specifically mentioned by the Department of Justice that it was Indian gangster Lawrence Bishnoi that was responsible for the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. At various point of time, he had also picked up the issue of Sharjil Imam as well as that of Omar Khalid, saying that they have been put behind bars only because they belong to minority community. He has also, in fact, picked up the issue of what he calls targeted repression of Muslims and other issues, which he claims that only because the minorities in India are less, that they have been targeted by BJP. This all happened after he became first a member of the religious body, and later he's holding the post of chair since this July. And within a month, he has now said that RSS should not be allowed, RSS chief should not be allowed to meet any kind of government functionary, and also has said that it should be banned. There is a systematic pattern to this. Dr. Mahmood is Pakistani origin, is something that needs to be looked into. And also important, Meghna, here is the fact that the tone-deaf silence that he has maintained when it comes to the killing in Pahalgam, where all those who were killed, all the tourists who were killed, belongs to Hindu national and they belong to Hindu community, and it has been specifically mentioned in the NIA charge sheet that they were killed after their religious marking were noted by the terrorists. And it is there, and NIA charge sheet has been submitted by the government at various forums, but this US religious body had never ever noted this and has always ignored these facts.
That's very important. So you are saying that there is selective condemnation coming in from this US body. What about the Pahalgam attack, when based on religion, people were singled out, identified and then shot dead? Where was Mahmood there? Dr. Asif Mahmood there? Why didn't he condemn that? Why doesn't he openly come out and ask for sanctions to be put on people like Asim Munir and Shehbaz Sharif, who are at the helm of persecution of minorities in Pakistan? We all know what's happening in Balochistan. What about that kind of an open condemnation directly from this man? We'll have to wait and see if there is any kind of defense which is coming in from Pakistan. But let's also tell you what's happening back home, because there has been a massive political fallout as well in India. While the BJP alleges what it calls a Soros agenda, you have the Congress, which has come out and said that USCIRF's statement will have a global impact. Watch this.
मैं उसी तरह से देखता हूं जैसे राहुल गांधी को सोरोज के एजेंडे पर काम करते हैं। ये लोग उसी एजेंडे वाले हैं जो भारत के सांस्कृतिक
Well, big breaking news which is coming in. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is speaking about the alleged insult to Vande Mataram by the Congress during the Independence Day celebrations. There's a big attack coming in from the Union Home Minister. Let's listen in.
कांग्रेस पार्टी की कार्यसमिति ने एक आश्चर्यजनक और देश विरोधी फैसला लिया है। उन्होंने अपनी पार्टी के 37 के रिजोल्यूशन को फॉलो करते हुए महान वंदे मातरम गीत के 2 ही छंद गाने का फैसला किया है। मैं इस समय पर पूरे देश को याद कराना चाहता हूं कि 1937 में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने मुस्लिम अपीसमेंट के लिए वंदे मातरम के 2 टुकड़े कर देश के विभाजन की नींव डाली थी और वहीं से 2 राष्ट्र के सिद्धांत को ताकत मिली थी और अंततोगत्वा देश का विभाजन हुआ और पाकिस्तान का जन्म हुआ था। आज जब वो ऐतिहासिक गलती को वंदे मातरम के गीत के प्रागट्य के 150वें साल में नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार ने सुधार कर बंकिम बाबू की ये अमर कृति को पूरा गीत गाकर राष्ट्रीय एकात्मता को फिर से एक बार सुदृढ़ करने का प्रयास किया है और सभी सरकारी फंक्शंस में इसको पूर्ण रूपेण गाने का जो निर्णय किया है वो निर्णय को कानूनी जामा भी पहनाया है। इसकी अवहेलना करने का कांग्रेस ने कल निर्णय किया है। कांग्रेस का ये निर्णय केवल और केवल शहीदों का भी अपमान किया है जो वंदे मातरम का नारा लगाते लगाते देश की आजादी के लिए फांसी पर चढ़ गए, जिन्होंने कई साल जेल में काटे। आज कांग्रेस पार्टी 1937 का अपनी पार्टी का रिजोल्यूशन मान रही है और पार्लियामेंट के एक्ट को नकार रही है। मुझे तो बड़ा आश्चर्य है, श्री राहुल गांधी की नेतृत्व में कांग्रेस पार्टी फिर एक बार इस देश में तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति को पुरजोश तरीके से आगे बढ़ा रही है। मैं देश की जनता को अपील करना चाहता हूं कि एक बार इस देश ने गलती करी थी वंदे मातरम के 2 टुकड़े होने देने की और एक गलती के गंभीर परिणाम हमने भुगते हैं। अब देश की जनता एकजुट हो और कांग्रेस पार्टी के इस फैसले के खिलाफ आवाज बुलंद करे कि अब इस देश में तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति नहीं चलेगी। ये आजाद देश है। आजादी के 80 साल के बाद 1937 में जो फैसला कांग्रेस ने किया था, जिसको नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने सुधारा है, उसके सामने का कोई विरोध इस देश की जनता नहीं सहन करेगी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी कांग्रेस पार्टी के इस फैसले की कड़ी निंदा करती है और हम इसका जनता के बीच में और विधायी सदनों में भी पुरजोश विरोध करेंगे। कल कांग्रेस पार्टी की कार्यसमिति ने
Well, let me go back across to Pragya also. Mohit Bhatt is joining us. Mohit, I'll come to you first. Massive attack there coming in from the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, saying this is Congress's bid to go back to appeasement politics, something we won't allow.
Well, yes, in fact, the first strong reaction has come in from Home Minister Amit Shah Meghna, where he has clearly hit out at the Congress party and the resolution in the CWC where they have decided that only 2 phrases of Vande Mataram would be sung as per they adopted in 1937 during the Congress convention. But the Bharatiya Janata Party have clearly come out and said that this is the appeasement politics of the Congress party and they are acting like Muslim League. And Home Minister Amit Shah also stated that how this particular step is an anti-national step taken by the Congress party, and they're taking us back to the times of 1937 when the Congress party's lines were being dictated by the Muslim League, and this has been the attack coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party, that to cater to a specific community, to cater for politics of appeasement, the Congress party removed the main stanzas of Vande Mataram, which were essentially the soul of Vande Mataram. And this is an insult not just to the people of this country, but to all the freedom fighters who sang Vande Mataram while they were hanged, who sang Vande Mataram while they were killed by the Britishers. And in a way of appeasement politics, in a way to cater to a particular community, the Home Minister Amit Shah and the BJP says that this particular step is being taken by the Congress party. And Home Minister Amit Shah also says that we will go down to the people, we will reach out to the people and expose the Congress party, that how exactly this anti-national step has been taken by the Congress party. And remember, the BJP also says that now it's an insult, it's a punishable offense to insult Vande Mataram, to stop full rendition of Vande Mataram according to the law that has been passed by the government in the monsoon session. So clearly, we know for a fact that how the various police complaints have been filed against Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge. On the other hand, we see that how Home Minister Amit Shah, for the first time perhaps, has spoken about this, calls it an anti-national step, also says that this takes us back to the times of 1937 when the policies of the Congress party were being dictated by Muslim League. Now remember, yesterday late night also we saw various reactions coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party and the BJP president, who clearly termed Congress party as Muslim League, who is following the line of Muslim League. So what we see is that massive clash over Vande Mataram. The BJP says that this just to cater to appeasement politics, the main stanzas are being removed by the Congress party. Back to you.
Mohit, do stay on with us. Let me go across to Pragya as well. Now, Pragya, there is also reactions coming in from the Congress party. And they, interestingly, are citing the same 1937 resolution, saying that this is what the genesis was. Even then, the freedom fighters said 2 stanzas are good enough for our patriotism. You must tell us about this 1937 resolution that the Congress is citing. The same one is today, ironically, being cited by the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, saying that this resolution sowed the seeds of partition. What is this resolution all about? Pragya.
So basically, the genesis of this whole controversy came, in 1930s when there was Muslim League, and they said that we cannot sing the whole song Vande Mataram, because it depicts, certain Hindu religious entities, and it also invokes certain religious Hindu entities. But the fact is that this
also invokes certain religious Hindu entities. But the fact is that this song was written by Bankim Chand Chatterjee, and in fact, the fact that it was adopted as a national song, but the BJP says that that time Congress bowed down to the sentiments of Muslim League. In fact, when they made their own country as Pakistan, even then they didn't come back to their own resolution and didn't say that we will sing it in full, because the division of the country was on 2-state basis. So this is the objection of BJP right now, that time you bowed down to Muslim League, but this is no Muslim League today.
So
why should you not speak?
Do stay on with us. T.S. Singh Deo is joining us, the former Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, also a very senior veteran leader of the Congress party. Mr. Deo, how would you like to respond to what Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said? Amit Shah says that this is Congress's partition mindset of appeasement.
It is sad and unfortunate that we have such leaders in the country today who are bent upon playing on sentiments to divide. And that is the mindset of the British, divide and rule.
Right. But they are saying, and this is coming in from what Mallikarjun Kharge, your party president, had said yesterday, that Congress still abides by the 1937 resolution, but Amit Shah has said that is when the seeds of partition were sowed by the Congress party.
Mr. Amit Shah is the minister who was absent from Parliament when the bill was introduced. How serious he is about Vande Mataram and how committed he is to the cause of supposed, let us say, nationalism based on religious thinking. His absence itself says that it is all nothing but politics, and this is an attempt to gain ground which has slipped beneath the feet of the BJP due to the harsh treatment of the agitators at the Jantar Mantar on the 20th of
But it is the
nothing-
Congress
nothing
party
but
which
that.
stands accused by the Union Home Minister when he says that this is the two-nation theory which Congress had earlier and is trying to impose now.
It is so laughable. It is so laughable that the two-nation theory was espoused first, I believe, by Mr. Savarkar or Mr. Govalkar. I'm not
It was
so-
actually,
so
the
much
genesis
into
of that
their-
was way before. It was in the 19th century, but go ahead.
Yeah, so those are the people who espouse the two-nation theory. The Congress was never in favor of a two-nation theory. The Congress was never in favor of partition. It is people like the Hindu Mahasabha and the Indian Muslim League who, to gain power, played along with the British. The British were promoting them throughout. It is borne out by their partnership in governance in Sindh and the Northwestern Frontier province. It is borne out by people like Mr. Suhrawardy, and it is they who were wanting to split the country on religious grounds, never the Congress.
Okay.
And as far as Vande Mataram is concerned, it was very clear that we have Jana Gana Mana. What are the words of Jana Gana Mana? Jana Gana Mana, Adhinayak Jai Ho, Bharat Bhagya Vidhata. It takes the whole country as one entity without any words which would split the thinking or the sentiments of the people of the country, the residents of the country. And what does Mr. Bankim Chandji's stanzas propose? Initially, Vande Mataram, salutations to Mother Earth, Mother India. And then later, after 3, 4, 5 years, he adds 4 stanzas, apparently at the encouragement of the British, which include religious godheads.
Hindu
Really?
goddesses like Ma Durga.
Yes, yes. So
Right.
then certainly there would be Muslims in the country, there would be Christians in the country, there would be other religious
Actually, religion is not something that
entities in
one
the
would
country.
take offense to, or anyone would. But that, of course, is what the Congress is saying, that there were references to religion, to one particular religion, which is why those stanzas were removed in 1937. Congress says it is not us, it is the RSS which is guilty of the two-nation theory. Listen in to what Union Home Minister, and I would like to thank Mr. T.S. Singh Deo for speaking to us here on Times Now. Listen in to what Amit Shah has said.
कल कांग्रेस पार्टी की कार्यसमिति ने एक आश्चर्यजनक और देश विरोधी फैसला लिया है। उन्होंने अपनी पार्टी के 37 के रिजोल्यूशन को फॉलो करते हुए महान वंदे मातरम गीत के 2 ही छंद गाने का फैसला किया है। मैं इस समय पर पूरे देश को याद कराना चाहता हूं कि 1937 में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने मुस्लिम अपीसमेंट के लिए वंदे मातरम के 2 टुकड़े कर देश के विभाजन की नींव डाली थी और वहीं से 2 राष्ट्र के सिद्धांत को ताकत मिली थी और अंततोगत्वा देश का विभाजन हुआ और पाकिस्तान का जन्म हुआ था। आज जब वो ऐतिहासिक गलती को वंदे मातरम के गीत के प्रागट्य के 150वें साल में
So scathing attacks there coming in from the Union Home Minister. We are going to be tracking this story, and of course Congress has said that it is the RSS, the progeny of the BJP, which is responsible for the two-nation theory, not them. So who's really dabbling in appeasement politics? We let you, the viewer, decide. With that, we wrap up Setting the Agenda.